On this hour-long season finale of Primetime Panthers, your Cats have climbed the mountain and are once again Stanley Cup champions.
Rats rain down! Lord Stanley staying in South Florida! Last year was greatness, this time it's historic! The Florida Panthers are back-to-back Stanley Cup champions!
We relive it all, from special access at Media Day.
Who has the best laugh on the team?
Oh, Giggles, yeah. Kulikov. I call him Giggles because of his laugh. So yeah, that's an easy one. I don't know why it took me so long.
To the final horn.
And now they're knocking on Dynasty's doorstep. The Florida Panthers back-to-back Stanley Cup champions.
All of that and more this week on Primetime Panthers. Primetime Panthers is presented by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
The biggest game in the history of the Stanley Cup Final is about to be played.
The Florida Panthers have won the Stanley Cup!
Well deserved. We'll see you next year.
You're a Stanley Cup champion. How does it compare to what you imagined?
You can't put into words what it feels like to win a cup. There's just nothing that can describe it and explain how great it feels and the emotions that you feel and the pride that you have when you win. Understanding that and knowing that feeling, I want to win so bad.
As this remarkable Oiler comeback falls one game short.
It's tough to put into words right now. You're one period, one shot away from maybe winning.
It's been 10 years now. Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl.
Go through 82 regular season games again and play well enough to even get a kick at it.
And here we go, the best time of the year has arrived, the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs. Unbelievable! A legendary performance!
You got to go through 4 high-end opponents and you got to beat them 4 times.
Here's McDavid, working past Eichel. A star player making a star play.
A big moment. It doesn't get any better than that.
And the Florida Panthers are going to the Stanley Cup Final for the 3rd year in a row.
They all play the same way.
They're the standard.
The aggressiveness. It's the attack mentality.
That'll lead to a breakaway for Connor McDavid.
A silencer here. And the Oilers are headed for a rematch with the Florida Panthers in the Stanley Cup Final.
We have a chance to do something very few teams in NHL history have done.
It's the toughest trophy to win in all of sports.
For the 2nd year in a row, it's Edmonton and Florida in the Stanley Cup Final.
Here we go.
It's going to be a great battle. Chomping at the bit to get another chance at it.
Shot at getting some revenge. It's cup or bust.
Welcome into the special season finale of Primetime Panthers. I'm Katie Engelson. We are coming to you from Amerant Bank Arena. Your Florida Panthers just won their 2nd consecutive Stanley Cup. What a ride it's been to get to this point, and the rematch with the Edmonton Oilers in the Stanley Cup Final did not disappoint. Let's flash back all the way to Media Day, where we will take you behind the scenes for a special look.
We had a really great day here setting up all things for Media Day. We had our 8-player pod set up in completion, the stage decking, the backdrops, the microphones, the lighting, the speakers, everything came together. This is great, these look sharp. Once this is set, we'll come off a foot or 2, and then I'll measure 4 feet that way, 4 feet this way. Everyone's gonna be ecstatic. We got all the great players, the coaches, GMs answering questions, and there should be some good coverage from all media outlets.
Biggest rat of all the rats. I gotta go Marshy, for sure.
All right,
he's the original rat.
The hockey world wants to know about your relationship with a certain restaurant in Salt Lake City.
Oh, yeah. I think I stayed in that night, but I did fake send a bunch of my teammates to a hot spot there that they walked 30 minutes to and hated it. I'm just under the sheets in my room, just crying, laughing at the text coming back. So it was a good time. Guys, hey, how are you? Good luck. Good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you.
What's up, guys? How are you? How are you? Nice to meet you. They've got a job to do, and you absolutely respect them for that.
Who has the best laugh on the team?
Oh, Giggles. Yeah. Kulikov. I call him Giggles because of his laugh. So yeah, that's an easy one. I don't know why it took me so long.
Thanks, man.
All right,
Thanks, Matt.
thanks, guys.
Have a good one.
Yep.
Who's the first player you think of when you hear Stanley Cup?
I think the first person I think of when I hear Stanley Cup is Bobby Orr and flying through the air. You're talking about 99% of the time the best trophy in all of sports, so I could talk about that all day. Is that planned? It surprised me. I thought they just put it up because I was going to that pod, but I guess it was there all day. It's the Stanley Cup. It's the most motivating thing in hockey, in sports, so we've got a lot of motivation. Thanks.
Thank you guys. Thanks everyone. How's it been so far?
It's been good, quick and easy. Guys, hello. The cup is such a magical thing, and once you do it once, it's addicting. You want to do it again.
What should I ask somebody else? What are you curious about? What would you ask somebody if you were in my seat?
Ask them who they were when they scored the game winner playing street hockey in the Stanley Cup final. So what player were they? That's a good one.
Pretending to be Ray Bourque, someone like that, or Joe Sakic.
Joe Sakic and Marty St. Louis.
Sakic, Le Cavalier.
I was myself.
We had a really good media day. We had over 200 media members here. All the players are ending up right now. The players seem to have a great day. They're excited. It was cool walking around, hearing some of the stories, some of the questions that were asked, and the excitement from everyone here.
We're just chomping at the bit to get out there, and guys are rested, guys are healthy, ready to go, and we just want to get out there competing again.
Speaking of talking with media, Paul Maurice had some serious mic drop moments during this run to the Stanley Cup. Katie Engelson sat down with Coach to discuss how he approaches talking to the media.
There continues to be so much talk surrounding your press conferences, your one-liners. Do you have a favorite moment that's gone kind of viral from your perspective?
I have no idea what's viral, Katie. I'm so not attached to my phone. I'm not sure where it is at most parts of the day. I don't follow any of that. I think if you and I are to have this conversation, let's say we're going to talk for 20 minutes, you're going to come up with just as many funny one-liners as I will. We laugh with each other, right? We just laugh. We tell, okay. So when I talk to the media, partly because I know a lot of them and spend some time with them, I really don't care what I say. No, I'm careful because usually I get one or two that you probably can't say, right? A little offside. That's where I giggle to myself a little bit. But I take the media portion as now almost, I'm not going to say it's enjoyable because that wouldn't be true. I don't fear it, and I'm not hiding anything. I've had to hold them a bunch back because I didn't think they'd come out right, but the rest of it, I don't know. It's just like me and a friend talking, having a beer.
Have you gotten any feedback though from your kids or your wife?
My wife's pretty good about it. She's more of a tough critic. Yeah, you could shut up here. You don't have to keep talking. Every once in a while you can shut up, which must drive her nuts, right? Because I walk in the door, I say 5 words all night. Must drive her insane. Yeah, I'll get the occasional critique of, yeah, thanks, Dad. Now I got to live with that for 2 years. But when I walk out of a room, I really don't remember what I've said. It's true in the pre-game speeches or in between periods. I got a general idea of what I wanted the room to feel. I don't really know what I say. It just kind of comes out. Just branching off and about, sometimes it hurts.
There was one in particular that did go pretty viral about comparing your team to shotgunning a beer and going to church. How did that one come about?
I'll ask you 2 questions that might be personal. You don't have to answer me. Have you ever shotgunned a beer? Have you ever been to church? It was Mike Russo asked the question. So I think, he's a fat big guy. We're not the same age. He's much younger than I am, but I don't know how much younger he is. Right? We're probably about the same age. And there's that idea that came out from, it was kind of a question a long time ago about Coach Krzyzewski at Duke. And he is an incredibly well-spoken man, very disciplined. And then you see him on the court and he's kind of losing it sometimes, right? Like, very intense guy. And I was listening to a radio show and they were kind of going, well, which one is he? And I'm thinking, well, like, I think hopefully both. The whole shotgun of a beer. Like, if you go to a bar, right, you probably aren't acting the way you would be at a funeral, but that doesn't make you a hypocrite. When we go to the games and we get behind the bench or in practice and we're doing our job, we're going. We're every bit as excited about as the fan screaming at his TV screen. It's all the same energy. You want to win, but you're running at a high level. And I've learned, I'm aware of how I treat people far more now than when I was younger. And I learned it from these guys. They've affected me far more than I've affected them when you talk about life faltering. I'm much more at ease in my off time. And when I was younger, and not that much younger, this is fairly recent, there would be no ease to this. Between games, I really wouldn't become less wired. And now the opposite is true. I've watched them, how they treat each other. So I relax too. I don't have a lot of problems to worry about here. So you can relax a little bit.
Time for our first break here on Primetime Panthers. Coming up next, we relive the thrilling Game 2 victory on the road in Edmonton.
And for Marchand, moving in on Skinner. Marchand, it's in, he scores! Marchand wins Game 2 for the Panthers in double overtime.
Don't touch that remote. Primetime Panthers on Script Sports. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Primetime Panthers. After a tough loss in Game 1, the Panthers look to rebound in Game 2 and even the series at 1 game apiece.
Two best teams. We think we can get a little bit better. There's probably some things that they're going to want to get a little better at.
Ready now, come on, ready! Tremendous atmosphere, as usual, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, as we get set for Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. Go. We've got a battle, man, battle. Here's Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe's shot did not get through. Nate Schmidt, score! Sam Bennett with 2 goals in Game 1 opens the score for Florida on the power play in Game 2. That's it, Bennett!
On power play, we have a lot of dangerous guys on our unit, so they command a lot of respect. So it helps me to have those guys with me as well to draw some players away.
Here comes Kane. Evander Kane with a shot. Score! The puck is turned over, quick up, and then a quick little play from Arvidsson to McDavid, and then Kane goes posted in far side. McDavid back out Bouchard. Bouchard shot blocked by Barkov, and he scores! Evan Bouchard! 2-1 Oilers. Well, the speed of McDavid pushes back the defense. Shot blocked by Barkov, and then an absolute screen by Sam Reinhart right in front of Sergei Bobrovsky.
Let's roll these offensive zone shifts. Roll these shifts.
With the Oilers leading 2-1. Schmidt for Losterinen. Plus-ice Jones. Score! Seth Jones ties Game 2 at 2.
That's it, Jonesy. That's it, boys.
Turnover, great pressure there by Schmidt, and then the Florida Panthers go to watch this pass right there. That opens up everything. And when you have net front presence, everybody gets mesmerized by the guys in front. There are more legs, more bodies, and then what a pass over to Jones, and he's got a wide open net. There's McDavid. Puck knocked off his stick, kept alive by Draisaitl. And then across to McDavid. McDavid, Draisaitl score! What a spectacular move! And set up by Connor McDavid! But how about the play here by Connor McDavid? Right around Barkov, right around Ekblad, and he passes it right over to Draisaitl, and no chance for Bobrovsky. Bouchard out of the box. Edmonton with numbers. Bouchard in, stopped by Bobrovsky. By McDavid for Kane. Here's McDavid across, and a big stop on Bouchard by Bobrovsky. Jones for Verhaeghe. There's Kulikov with a shot. Score! The Florida Panthers tie the game at 3. Just a matter of time for the Florida Panthers. These last 3, 4 shifts, 5 shifts in the second period has been all Florida.
Lundy, you're going, Lundy!
Now Draisaitl, back out for Nugent Hopkins. Look out, here comes Marchand, on a breakaway. Moving in on Skinner, score! Short-handed, 4-3 Florida. Stick handle was able to open up Skinner as he puts it through the 5-hole.
Things happen quick. It's different on every goalie. You're just trying to read kind of where he is in the crease, which is instincts.
And now the Oilers with a 2-on-1 down low. And a save on McDavid, and then a second by Bobrovsky. Where's the puck? Pass across. Oh, what a chance for Draisaitl. There's the brilliant pass over, and look at this. Oh my. Oh my. I can't tell you how hard that is for Bobrovsky. He has to respect McDavid driving down on that strong side. You can't cheat. If he does, he's going to put it to the net.
Just wanted to hug Bob. I just wanted to give him a big hug. Bob was really great in the back half of the game, and I think it calms the rest of our team down.
6 skaters on the ice for the Oilers. Back out to McDavid. Now Wallman. Wallman shoots. Puck is loose. Score! Score! Corey Perry! Unbelievable.
And we'll go to overtime. Take your ice, take your ice.
Pressured by Verhaeghe, who takes it away. Out in front, Marchand. What a chance! Look up behind Skinner.
There were some good saves made at both. That's high-end saves. And there's some world-class shooters here.
Centering pass, Kaplan. Stopped by Bobrovsky.
It was unreal. Some of those saves he made in overtime just makes it look so easy out there. I don't know how he does it.
Draisaitl back out for a shot by Ekholm, missed the net. Ahead for Marchand, moving in on Skinner. Marchand, it's in, he scores!
Our whole bench stood up. He had a breakaway there and a huge play at a huge time. And he's been incredible for us this whole playoffs.
Marchand wins game 2 for the Panthers in double overtime.
His anticipation and his just being in the right spots, like his hockey sense, it's unbelievable. I mean, you see it tonight, 2 breakaway goals, like just seeing him play, seeing it go to a player, and he's gone.
Set up on both occasions tonight by Anton Lundell.
He's a fast guy, so I saw him open and just tried to give him the puck, and he took care of the rest.
Yeah, baby!
Truly, he is a unique human. Like in the northern parlance, he's a beauty.
Unbelievable. This was an absolute classic.
Time for a short break here on Primetime Panthers. Coming up next, the Panthers return to Sunrise for games 3 and 4, with the series tied at 1 game apiece.
We love playing at home. They're always electric. They always bring the energy. It's such a loud building, and we love our fans. Love playing in front of them.
We just want to protect home ice and play well in front of our fans, and they deserve it.
Primetime Panthers is presented by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. Come on back with us. Primetime Panthers will be back in a jiff.
Welcome back to Primetime Panthers. I'm Katie Engelson. With your Florida Panthers now back at home in South Florida, I had the opportunity to sit down with Panthers head coach Paul Maurice and talk about what makes this team so special.
Hunt back, hunt him, hunt him! Hold it! Oh, no! That's our puck, that's our puck! Let's go!
What is it in particular that propelled this team to this opportunity this year?
Oh, good one. So 2 years ago when you brought in these guys, they wanted to be the guys that put you over the top. So they came with an excitement. Now this year we bring these guys in, it's like, hey, I don't want to mess this up. I don't want to be the reason this thing goes sideways. And they kind of went through that in the first 4 months, and then on the back half of the season, those guys really, and then the trade deadline, clearly we added some elite players to our team, and they've just fit in and been great for us.
How would you summarize just how deep this team is, given some of those new additions as well?
There are good players that won't play in games that should be in those games. So all of these guys that have come in have made a major impact when they've come in, and that just builds those bonds even closer. It's not, hey, we're a top 2 line team and top 4D team. It's we've needed everybody, and they've produced when they've come in.
You described coming to the rink every day as life-altering. Why is that?
It's day after day of watching the players treat each other the way they do. And then you will know this to be true because you interact with all of these people every day. It's a fun place to come. They're nice people. They're nice to each other. They're respectful of everybody. There's no hierarchy in our room. So our second or third equipment guy and our assistant coach and Bill Zito and Sasha Barkov all moved around each other as equals. That's why it's so much fun. Like if you took all these people here and we took over a car dealership, I'd want to go sell cars for a living. I'd just hang out with them. They're fun every day. They work really hard and they're really good at their job. So part of that is me kind of getting to sneak around and watch a bunch of experts do their job. That's been fun for me, which means I don't have to do as much, especially the stuff that I'm not expert in. They're all just wonderful people to work with.
3 straight Stanley Cup final appearances. Why do you think you've been able to have this fast success and be able to sustain it with this franchise?
Because it was there before I got here, from my point of view. I mean, they're a 122-point team. We all know what I did to them. This was a really good team before I got here. Now, they had some major change each year. Like the first year that I got here, they lost like 7 very skilled players, which actually helped us. Because they could look at the room and say, okay, we're not probably nearly as skilled as we were last year, so we got to play the game a little different way. And it took us a little while to find what we're good at. And then when we did that, we've been a pretty good team. So you would look at the inflection point based on playoff success as that, right? Matthew comes in, some coaches changes, and then they took off. But we didn't. We were terrible in November, December, right? There weren't a lot of happy people about me coaching this team. I might have been one of them. This was a very, very good team. We just had to maybe become a little more unified in how we viewed our game. And once the players kind of went, okay, that's the game we're going to play, they took off.
Just as you reflect on your career up until this point, what are you most grateful for?
That's a great word. I'm grateful, most grateful for, by far, of the opportunity to watch these men operate in pro sports. The intensity of it, the sacrifice they make for each other. It's that whole idea. These guys are different. How they move around each other, how they care for each other. I never thought pro sports would be like that. And that's not a condemnation. You have to understand, I came in 30 years ago. It was a completely different culture. The culture of this group, to see how they care about each other and treat each other, they go, that's the way it should be. That's what I'm most grateful for. I got to see it. I don't think I had anything to do with it. I think I got to see it, and then I hope that I'm internalizing it.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for your time. We really, really appreciate it, especially taking the time out during such a busy week. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Paul Maurice is a national treasure. We can't think of a better leader to have behind the bench each and every night. After taking 1 of 2 on the road, the Panthers look to take advantage of the newly acquired home ice advantage in game number 3.
When you have already played some high pressure games, you are able to keep yourself maybe a little bit calmer. You're not stressing too much, but at the same time, it's high stakes and you want to make sure you get the job done.
We love playing at home. They're always electric. They always bring the energy. It's such a loud building, and we love our fans. Love playing in front of them.
We just want to protect home ice and play well in front of our fans, and they deserve it.
Have a great game. What will the Panthers and Oilers have in store for us tonight? Penalty coming up here. Here's Marchand with a shot. Score! He scored the last goal of Game 2 in double overtime. He opens the scoring 56 seconds into Game 3.
Marshy has been huge all playoffs for us, and for him to get the first one was really big.
My guy!
That's definitely nice when you capitalize early, but I think the biggest thing with our group is we just try to carry that momentum shift to shift and try to build from the shift before us.
Into the slot, Rodriguez, Verhaeghe shoots, he scores!
That man is an enigma. But he scores goals exactly like that. Right? He gets off his stick before it gets set. Coaching has nothing to do with that. He's gifted.
We knew as soon as playoffs came, he was going to elevate his game and he was going to be ready. That's the type of player he is. He's got so much speed. He's got one of the best releases in the game. He's consistently, ready for playoff hockey, and that's what brings out the best in him.
Go get another one, hey boys?
2-1 Florida. Perry on the power play from Bouchard and Ekholm. Score! Yeah! 3-1 Panthers. Reinhart, his first point of the series, and it's a huge goal for the Panthers.
He has such a good shot, such a good release, and he can get the puck up so quick. So it's kind of what he does.
Let's go fast here, 7 minutes. Bennett with a huge hit on Podkolzin. Podkolzin back on his skates. Yeah. And now the Panthers with a 2-on-0. Moving in on Skinner. Score! Bennett! 4-1 Florida.
I mean, he's been an animal this whole playoffs. He's built for this time of year. That shift was a perfect example of his game. He blows 2 guys up and then somehow leads the rush after that and scores a beautiful goal. He can do it all.
I came on late. I saw the one great hit, and then I think Lusty blocked the shot, which sprung Benny, and then an unreal move. Just all in all, was a really good shift by those two especially, and they had the best seat in the house for the goal. It was awesome.
It's not as good as Sam Reinhart's goal last year, but it's pretty good.
Oh, what a pass! Ekblad the finish! Yeah! Reinhart setting up Ekblad. Power play goal. 5-1 Panthers.
It's a hell of a pass. The shot's... It's a tap-in. Wow! No, it's a tap-in. That's all Rhino. Frederick just cross-checked Bennett.
We talked about it in the third. If you have to take a punch, take a punch.
Gadjevich still going at it with Nurse.
If you have to take a cross-check, take a cross-check. Spear, slash in the face, whatever the case is, you've got to take it.
Smith's helmet has come off. He's tackling with Connor Brown.
When the time needed, where we needed to stick up for each other, it was there.
Gadjevich is smiling during this fight.
The core is pretty much the same for both teams. The drivers of the team are the same for the last 3 years, so they'll always have each other's back.
Well done, man. Well done.
Time for another short break here on Primetime Panthers. Coming up next, we check in with Goldie to get his take on the Stanley Cup final rematch.
Panthers, as we know, lock it down better than any team in the NHL. The best defensive team, the best forecheck team, best expected goals.
Hey you, yeah, you, don't move from that spot, because we'll be right back. Welcome back to this special Stanley Cup Champion edition of Primetime Panthers. After dropping a tough one in Game 4, we headed back to Edmonton, where Katie and Goldie discussed the keys to success for the remainder of the series.
We're back here in Edmonton for Game 5. The series is tied up at 2 games apiece. And Goldie, is there anything in particular that surprised you so far about this year's Stanley Cup final?
Well, I'll go with the one that's not surprising me, that we're 2 games apiece. I always figured this was going to be a deep series, at least 6 games. The surprise to me is that the Edmonton Oilers have caught the Panthers in those 2 wins. Panthers, as we know, lock it down better than any team in the NHL. The best defensive team, the best forecheck team, best expected goals, but the Oilers are that good offensively. As good as McDavid and Draisaitl and the Oilers are, Katie, that's been a little bit surprising to me because the Panthers, I guess we've taken it for granted a little bit. They're so good when they get the lead.
You mentioned Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. What is your assessment of how the Panthers have been able to contain those two?
I think overall they've done a very good job. I mean, they've done a good job on the speed. We haven't seen, the rush chances and the speed through the neutral zone all that much. The Panthers are playing their hard gap game very well, standing up at the blue line. These guys are going to get their points, right? Even if you do a good job on them. But for the most part, I think the Panthers have done a very good job defensively against those 2 absolute superstars. They are that good.
Is there anything in particular they could potentially do different in your mind?
Well, hang on to the leads would be number 1 and keep on playing. It's been up and down, and that'll happen in a series. Take Game 4, for example. First period, pretty good in the third period, very good in overtime, even though they didn't win the game. What they do well, more of it for longer. That's really the key. This team is so confident. I still think they're in a very good spot, even after 4.
Well, Goldie, thanks so much for the time. We appreciate it as always.
What was once a 7-game series was now down to a best-of-3. With the series knotted at 2 apiece, the Panthers look to build on their road dominance in Game 5.
Final Saturday of the hockey season, the last game without the cup in the building. Now a best-of-3.
What an atmosphere here in Edmonton.
We're ready for Game 5.
You look at the early tempo here. Here's Connor Brown. Shoots. Great early chance.
Go! It's a hit. Here's McDavid. Maybe a 2-on-1. His shot. Rebound. Skated by the net.
Way to be moving. Get up. Now Marchand splits the defense and scores.
Play, Marsh.
It's those big moments when you need guys to step up.
What a move by Brad Marchand. He beats Pickard. The Panthers score first for the 4th consecutive game.
How is he coming so hot? Like, there's no way I think he can have that speed.
Time and time again, he's there to produce.
8 minutes without a shot for the Oilers. 2 minutes remaining in the period. The chuck in with a shot. Blocked. Bennett scores! His 15th of the postseason. What about Bennett? Makes it 2-0 Florida.
Another tough start for Edmonton.
There is Kachuk in with a shot. Puck loose in front.
Brown, Ekholm, and Nurse, the only Oilers with shots so far against Bobrovsky.
They're just quicker to coverage, and they're just shutting it right down.
Great play, man. Oilers have now gone 12 minutes without a shot on goal. Held in by the Oilers. It's Bouchard. For McDavid. McDavid off the post. With a near post behind Bobrovsky.
Well, there's no question at ice level here. This is an absolute clinic by the defending Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers, fellas.
The battle to the next timeout, that's all. On the Draisaitl face-off win, but Listerine ahead. Here's Marchand back in with a move to the net. Scores!
Oh my God!
It started with a great stick at our line from Lusty, and then I just tried to get inside and get a puck on net. I don't really, to be honest, know what happened. I haven't seen a replay. It just found its way in, so it's a good feeling.
What a spectacular goal for Brad Marchand!
That's it, baby. Keep going. Keep going.
When you don't have your fastball, you got to find a way. Somebody's got to make a play for the Edmonton Oilers right now.
Knocked down there, Ekholm, Bouchard, McDavid to the net, scores! One back, and the first of the final for Connor McDavid.
Now it's game on here for the last 12.
Here's the centering pass, Reinhart scores! Return fire from Sam Reinhart.
What a play, Mark. What a snipe.
Now that silences the crowd here in Edmonton.
You know, no one really cares in our locker room who's producing at when. It's just a matter that someone is at the right times, and that's what we've had.
Love you, Bob.
The Florida Panthers are 1 win away from winning their 2nd consecutive Stanley Cup.
Out of what, baby? Good job. Big time.
Very well done tonight.
Thanks everyone, boys. Marshy, shout out. Dog, Bob, you're Bob. Tonight, it's going to a great teammate. He shows up to work every day, Vanny. Guys, boys, slow the game, and then let's do it one more.
Time for another break here on Primetime Panthers. Coming up next, the stage was set, a chance at immortality. We relived the series-clinching win as your Cats became back-to-back Stanley Cup champions.
Lord Stanley's staying in South Florida. Last year was greatness. This time it's historic. The Florida Panthers are back-to-back Stanley Cup champions.
You won't want to miss it. Next, right here on Scripps Sports.
Welcome back to Primetime Panthers. After a thrilling victory in Edmonton, the stage was set as the Panthers return home to Sunrise with the opportunity to capture back-to-back Stanley Cups.
Paul, what does it feel like waking up in the morning knowing that you could win the Stanley Cup?
I think you asked me that 4 times last year. The closer you get to the end of a series, I think that using that energy, but also controlling that energy is the critical part.
All right, boys. Yeah. Got Swaggy, Barky, Rhino, Borzy, Eck. Oh. Let's go, boys.
Now 6 moments away. The Stanley Cup will be in the building. Can the Panthers wrap it up, or will the Oilers send the series back to Edmonton for a Game 7?
Quick, all quick now.
There's Evander Kane with a shot. Bobrovsky looking for the puck. Draisaitl works it back. Now across from Ekholm to Bouchard.
Figure eight.
Reinhart with the steal. Nice move. Goes to the net. Scores! The turnover by Evan Bouchard, and then Sam Reinhart goes to work. The steal, and watch this move. Outside, inside on the backhand. And in all-in-one motion, he goes backhand, forehand, far side on Stuart Skinner. And the Florida Panthers with a 1-0 lead.
One, baby, that's one. Let's go get it.
Wallman, back to Bouchard. And now Leon Draisaitl. Here's Bouchard, stopped by Bobrovsky.
Get the next one here, man, hey? We're not just sitting here to watch the game. Let's go get it.
Excellent stick there by Lundell. Here's Rostarinen. Rostarinen. Back out, jump back and jump.
Rostarinen makes the play. Watch him buy some time. Wait, what am I on? 2 Edmonton Oilers going to Rostarinen. Kachuk had just jumped on the ice. McDavid, he drifts, and then Kachuk finds the open area.
Time. Got to get your feet moving. Take the ice in front of you, lads.
Bottom for Hagee, turns, shoots, knocked down by Skinner. Puck is loose. Reinhart, they have gotten a piece of it. The Panthers down lead 3-0. Heads out, the goaltender coming out.
Goalie out. Hard. Middle.
For Hagee, back to Barkov. To the empty net. Score! It's a hat trick. Sam Reinhart.
Little pitch and catch there with Verhaeghe and Barkov, and Reinhart becomes available and has a wide open net from the blue line.
The first ever postseason hat trick by a member of the Florida Panthers. Here's Verhaeghe. Puck's head down towards the empty net. Reinhart with his 4th. John Beliveau, 1956. Mike Bossy, 1982. Wayne Gretzky, 1985. And now Sam Reinhart. 7 goals in a Stanley Cup final.
We're gonna get you out there. I want you 3 guys on the ice for the last shift, because we're down 2-0 against Toronto, and you got us here. You get the last shift. Mills has the last shift.
The Panthers begin to celebrate.
Let's rain down. Lord Stanley staying in South Florida. Last year was greatness. This time it's historic. The Florida Panthers are back-to-back Stanley Cup champions.
Please direct your attention to the ice for the presentation of the Conn Smythe Trophy.
It's only fitting that this year it goes to the leading goal scorer, Sam Bennett.
Sam Bennett wins the Conn Smythe Trophy, scored 15 goals during the postseason, including 5 in the Stanley Cup final.
It truly could have went to anyone. The depth of this team is just, it's remarkable. The amount of guys that stepped up this year and had incredible years, incredible playoff runs. It's a huge honor.
Alexander Barkov, let's do it again.
359 days later.
still second. Seth Jones.
All of those guys who touched it first, it was their first cup. So that's what makes these men special.
I'm so happy they believed in me and wanted me to come here and help them.
This group is really special, and now we'll be able to share this memory forever.
And here comes Brad Marchand. There's your MVP and leading goal scorer.
He hands it off to Matthew Tkachuk. The Florida Panthers continue to celebrate their second consecutive Stanley Cup Championship. 5-1 victory in Game 6 over the Edmonton Oilers.
Time for our last break here on Primetime Panthers. Coming up next, there was only one thing left to do. Have a parade, of course.
MVP! MVP! MVP!
MVP! The best sights and sounds of the Panthers stroll down the beach. Next, right here on Primetime Panthers. Welcome back to this special episode of Primetime Panthers. If you thought you were dreaming, well, you weren't. We are looking at a dynasty here, and the Panthers cemented their dominant run with another parade in Fort Lauderdale.
So here we know this. In the history of man, there is no chance there have ever been this many cat lovers in one spot.
Shake it off, make you sweat. Memories you can't forget. I know the feeling's bittersweet. So play this song on repeat, on repeat. Right here, let's get it started.
I could get used to this. Oh man.
The only thing I've heard all day is how this is the best parade that's ever been happening in South Florida.
MVP! MVP!
They call us dirty. They call us nasty. They call us bullies.
We're the double champs. We do what we want. Let's go!
In honor of DJ Khaled.
We the best!
That does it for the season finale of Primetime Panthers. Your Florida Panthers are back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, and what a journey it was. Thank you all so much for tuning in each and every week to every new episode. We will see you in just a few short months with a brand new episode of Primetime Panthers, but until then, enjoy a summer of celebration.
Primetime Panthers has been presented by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.